We live in a day and age where almost anybody can make music. Almost anybody has the gear necessary, especially with places like Sweetwater and Musician's Friend and Reverb. We could get gear anywhere to have a home studio right here. Anybody can release a single. How are people doing it these days? I'm just going to walk through the process of my latest single that I released and how it was done. Here we go. So that starts with a demo, and what a demo is basically a skeleton for what the song is going to look like. This song was called Worth the Risk. It released this past year, and I've been making this video for a long time, and I've had a lot of fun making it. So let's just look at what my previous setup looked like, and then we'll come back to what the process looked like after that. So let's take a look at the setup here. I'm just running a dynamic microphone, SM7B. Took the filter off using an Austrian Audio pop filter. And I'm running through a Focusrite Scarlett Solo. And many of you have this, and I want to tell you how amazing this thing is. This thing got me through a lot of projects when I was first starting out. It got a lot of ideas into my DAW. I was an Ableton guy for a long time. Made the switch to Logic. I love the stock plugins in Logic. I love the stock sounds. That's really what you need for good demos and even some album stuff. So I'm running a Soyuz preamp just to get some really nicely colored gain for my SM7B. Shure headphones for monitoring. My keyboard sounds through my Keylab 88, my Arturia Keylab 88, which comes with a lot of great sounds too. About the mess, all brilliant men are messy. One of my favorite quotes is from Spider-Man. Aunt May and the Green Goblin are going into Peter's room at Thanksgiving, and Peter's like hanging on the ceiling. And Green Goblin looks over to Aunt May and says, "He's a bit of a slob, isn't he?" And Aunt May says, "All brilliant men are." And so whenever my room is messy and whenever my creating space is messy, I just say, you know what? There is brilliance in the making. So after you have your demo and you have the final idea of what you want your song to look like and sound like, you can always add on things in the process, but it's good to start somewhere. So I started with drums, and this is a little segment of where I recorded drums. A friend of mine's studio, my friend Brendan, actually played for free. I paid him, but he said that he would pay for free. Always pay your musicians. So this is footage of that. And then I hired a producer because I could have done this by myself. I could have done it with the knowledge that I have, but this guy is way more talented than I am. He has a way better interface than I do. He has way more skill than I do at mixing and mastering. And so I hired him. And I had the budget to do so. And so I went over to his house. We tracked bass with him. This is him tracking bass. We also recorded acoustic guitars. We recorded all the electric guitars. I did background vocals in my studio, and I recorded the final vocal at his house. Everything. And so the only thing missing was keys. I outsourced this to a friend of mine who actually lives in Virginia, and he recorded the keys from his little studio in Virginia, and he sent the files to me, and I'll show you what that looks like. He sent them to me via Dropbox, and so you could see here organ, piano 1, piano 2, piano lead, Rhodes lead, shimmer pad, and synth lead. And I could show you guys what these sound like. He just recorded this as kind of an ambient noise in relation to the rest of the keys tracks, and they actually sound really good on their own. My producer gave him mad props. So his name's Kamo. He's an artist named Kamo. You can check his stuff out on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, YouTube. He's incredible. He's a producer and does some great stuff. So yeah, that's Keys. And he mixed the final product. So after we do the demo, after we track everything, after it's mixed, we have to send it off to mastering. And so my producer knew a guy at a mastering service called Sunroom Audio, and they mastered it for us. And so that's basically getting it to where it sounds good everywhere. Not just it's sounding good in my producer's room, not just it's sounding good in my room, but sounding good in every room. So now that you have your mastered single or your mastered album back, you need to distribute it. So what does that look like today? It's not just printing it on a CD and selling it out of the back of your car or selling it on your website anymore. Many people don't even print CDs. Many of them don't even use CDs. We all are streaming. So how do you do that? Well, you find a distributor. I first went with a company called Record Union. I do not recommend them. They were all right, but they charged me a fee per single, per year, and I don't really like that. And so I went with a new distributor, and there's a bunch of other ones out there. There's TuneCore, there's DistroKid. I use CD Baby just because they act as a publisher for me, so they collect royalties for me. So that's another aspect, is collecting your royalties. There's this website called Sound Exchange that you need to register your music on, basically collecting royalties for you anytime your music is played somewhere. Also registering your music with the Library of Congress, just in case a lawsuit comes up and somebody says, you stole my music, and you have the date and the lyric and the time that it was protected. This is your song. It is copyrighted under the Library of Congress. And also registering with a network like BMI. I'm registered under BMI, which is basically a blanket of protection for songwriters and creators and musicians alike. So that's a whole nother aspect of what it looks like to release a single. The music business side of releasing music in 2022, it's way different than what it used to be. And with the world of streaming, if you're releasing music as an independent artist, you need to be doing these things to protect yourself so that you get paid and so that you can actually make profit on the music that you've released. I have yet to make profit on the music that I release. I do it because I love it. But that doesn't mean that you won't get the profit from releasing your music. Take all of these steps, and also promoting it. You have to promote it like a month or 2 months or 3 months. Some people promote up to 6 months before their album release. So promoting it, getting a team of people behind you so that it doesn't just disappear on the internet forever. Having a fan base is super important. Building a fan base. That's what I'm doing with this video right now, is building a fan base. Informing you on how to release a single. Because I'm going to be doing that this year as well, releasing more music since I have all of the things that I was talking about. I have a great interface and good monitors and great microphones and all of the gear. I just need to learn how to use it and learn how to mix, learn how to master, still get better at my craft, and share my music with the world. So that's it. That's how you release a single. That's pretty much what it looks like these days in 2022.